Recording in progress.
And welcome to the June 19th Urban Renewal Agency meeting. We will forego the opening of the pageantry for the council meeting. Thank you.
Sorry, Gardner.
And Zoom people, sorry. We will go right into citizen input and community announcements. I see no one in the chambers. Is there anyone online, Teresa? No. Okay. Now we'll go to the consent agenda.
I will turn on my mic and say I move to approve the consent agenda, which include the Urban Renewal Agency minutes for May 15th, 2024, and approval of the Urban Renewal Budget Committee members' reappointments.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Hodson, seconded by Commissioner Sassy to approve the consent agenda consisting of the Urban Renewal Agency May 15, 2024 minutes and the approval of the Urban Renewal Budget Committee members' reappointments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pass, oh, and aye. Passes 5-0. And now we move to resolution number 24003. I'll let Eileen present this.
I will turn it over to Scott.
Okay.
This is on, correct? Yes, I can hear myself. So before you is the consideration of resolution UR 24-003, a resolution to adopt the budget, make appropriation, and imposing and categorizing taxes for the 2025 fiscal year. As you guys are aware, Oregon budget law does require the adoption of an annual budget by the end of the calendar or fiscal year, which is June 30. ORS 294-453 requires the agency to hold a public hearing, and this is what we're doing at this point in time. And then we're required to submit tax certification documents to the county assessor by July 15th. So as soon as this budget is adopted, I will begin the process of doing that piece to the county assessor. What I'd like to point out is that following the Budget Committee's approval of the URA budget, there were two actions that did create subsequent changes, and I kind of wanted to bring those to your attention. The first was an increase to both the resources and requirements of $120,000. This was due to an omitted cell in the calculation at the time of the Budget Committee during their approval process. I'd actually caught that, but by that time we'd already convened, and so an easy solution was to come before you and basically make that recommendation that we capture that $120,000 resource and also for the appropriation. The second was during the URA committee resolution 24-002 approved a supplemental budget for a transfer of $315,000 from the UR debt to the UR general fund. And that was a realization of that supplemental budget was to actually reduce the beginning fund balance estimate from my first calculations that carried over into 24-25. These changes have been incorporated into this budget. And as you can see, I think on page 3, when we look to the resolution, the totals are presented as all funds, which include the UR debt and the UR general, and includes unappropriated and reserve amounts for a total adopted budget that's being presented before you. And I actually am available for any questions if you have any. My nose itches. Somebody must talk.
Anybody have any questions for Scott?
I do not.
I do have a question.
Commissioner Davis, go ahead.
Thank you. The 120,000, I didn't quite understand that. You want to explain it to me again?
Yeah, the 120,000 was actually just an amount that had been included. However, when it rolled over into the amount to be approved by the Budget Committee, that cell was actually a hard-coded number of 0. So it wasn't actually taking it into account, and so it should have. And so that number that I gave you during the approval process excluded that as a resource, and it also excluded that as an appropriation or a requirement. So that is just a correction to include that cell that was omitted. That's really what the 120,000 is. It already should have been included, and it should have been a part of that original approved by the Budget Committee. When I caught that, I had mentioned it, and we had already convened for that evening, and so we didn't want to restart. So the easiest solution was to bring it here during adoption and bring that to the attention that 120 needs to be included.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that happening.
Yeah.
That was kind of, any other questions for Scott?
I have one. Scott, I just noticed that the adopted budget in the resolution, it says be it resolved in the total amount of 7.829 million, but down below it says the total adopted budget of 7.739.
So be it, in the beginning part of the be it resolved 7829, that would have been the proposed amount.
Okay.
And that should be updated to say the 7,739,636.
Okay, so we'll just correct that figure in the resolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that which number we were approving.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. The second number, the 77,39,636, takes into account all of the changes that were subsequent to the original approval.
Okay. So the resolution is correct as
Correct.
printed? Okay. Any other questions? Hearing, Vice Chair, did you have a question?
Nope, I was going to make a motion.
Okay, go for it.
I move that the Urban Renewal Agency adopt UR Resolution 24-003, a resolution of the Canby Urban Renewal Agency adopting the annual budget.
Mayor, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but this requires a public hearing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we have to have a public hearing, just,
That was not on the
I
agenda.
know it was not, and I just noticed that as well. I'm sorry about that. So
Hearing
just,
script in your book.
yeah.
Thank you for that catch. It
You're
wasn't on there, and I didn't think of it either. Please hold. Legislative, which word do we use, legislative? Urban renewal executive session. Do we use legislative? Is that what we use? Here, help me.
I'm sorry. We just want to make sure we get all the
I's
i's dotted and the t's
All
crossed.
the
Yes.
punctuation correct.
We are accessing, we are not appealing.
If you just call a public hearing.
Yeah, there's nobody here. so-
Yeah. Jerry, do you want to
The matter
testify? Okay.
The matter presently before the hearing body requires a public hearing. All interested persons in attendance shall be heard on the matter. If you wish to testify on this matter, please fill out a yellow public testimony card and give it to the city recorder. At the appropriate time, please step forward to the microphone, state your name and interest in the matter. Those people that are interested in testifying as either proponents or opponents, please indicate your desire to speak by raising your hands at this time. Is there anybody online? Okay. All questions must be directed through the chair. Any evidence to be considered must be submitted before the hearing body for public, to the hearing body for public access. All written testimony received before, both for and against, shall be summarized by staff and presented briefly to the hearing body during the staff report. The public hearing will be conducted as follows. We'll have staff report, questions, if any, by the hearing body or staff, open public hearing for testimony. Proponents will have 2 minutes, opponents will have 2 minutes, closed public hearing. Questions, if any, for the hearing body, discussion by hearing body. A decision shall be made by the hearing body at the close of the hearing, or the matter will be continued to a date certain in the future. This will be the only notice of that date you will receive. Does anyone have any questions about the procedure of the hearing? Seeing none, I believe we've just had the staff report.
You did.
Do we have anything to add to that? Saying nothing, do we have any additional questions? Saying none, I'll open the hearing for testimony. Any proponents? Saying none, any opponents? Seeing none, I close the public hearing. Are there any additional questions? There's nothing been said, so I think nothing's changed. Okay, I will accept that motion now, Vice Chair.
Do you want to close the public hearing?
Oh, I closed the public hearing. Now I'll accept the motion. Thank you.
Great. I move to adopt UR Resolution 24-003, a resolution of the Canby Urban Renewal Agency adopting the annual budget, making appropriations, and imposing and categorizing taxes for the fiscal year of 2025.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Hodson, seconded by Commissioner Sassy to approve resolution number 24003, a resolution adopting the budget and making appropriations and imposing and categorizing taxes for the 2025 fiscal year. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I did not hear a voice from,
Aye.
okay, and I did not hear a vote from Commissioner Davis. Did you vote? Any opposing?
I'm going to abstain.
You're abstaining?
Correct.
Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes, 0 noes, 1 abstention. Okay. Any further discussion or business? I see nothing on the agenda, so I would take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the Urban Renewal Agency meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. It's non-debatable. Do we need to actually vote on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any
Jim?
Opposed?
You want to stay on there? Are you going to say yay? Okay, we're adjourned.